Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. Today we're going to do my pomegranate tree. I had it growing in a root maker's pot for about 2 years. It was, for some reason it didn't come up too good this year. As you can see, nothing's growing. It's just starting to get a couple of little buds on it. It was twice this tall. I just clipped it, and here's what the roots look like in a root maker pot. Nice roots from it, but I couldn't do a lot of the root raking and everything else of that there nature because this tablet doesn't hold a video that long, so we got to make it pretty quick. So I'm taking most of the roots out that I can to get in a radial pattern. The reason why I cut all this because a lot of it was dead. I got pink on it to remind me that it's a pomegranate because I got the tag here someplace. But we're going to try it out. My niece gave me some Revlon pink, so I'm going to use that. I dabbed it on all the woods, but we're going to use a fast draining soil of 1 part worm castings, 1 part peat moss, 1.5 parts sand, 1.5 parts sifted perlite, and we're going to use Azus from Extreme Gardenings over the roots to help the roots to grow. Now this needs a well draining soil. It needs full sun. If you have it in partial shade, it'll suffer. It attracts hummingbirds. It overwinters, but it's slow to come back. Sometimes it starts growing in the wintertime and all the shade and stuff, but, well, we got, for the container that I'm going to use, there's just an oil pan with holes that I drilled in there, and I got a screen on top. So I know, like everybody else, we can't get fancy pots, so don't worry about it. If you're on a limited budget, this was cheap, this oil pan. I think it was like $3.49 or something like that. I know they got them in the dollar store, but don't get them. They're very chintzy. I mean, they're good to hold something in it, but you can't lift it up because they bend a lot. So we're getting some soil in here. Let me get this on the side for a minute so we can see our roots. It was a muggy day today. It was like 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was, or 24 degrees Celsius, but it was muggy. It wasn't that great of a heated day. I mean, it felt cool, but it wasn't. Now look at this nice flat radial root base. Look at all the roots on this thing. There's hardly any curlicue roots. Maybe a couple where I'll just clip it off. Some that are going in a circle. But other than that, you can have a nice radial root base on it. Just cut some of them off. And I'm going to try to see, there's no, this was a cutting. There's a couple of downward roots we'll take off. Let me dip it again in my peroxide and get some of these stragglers off. Well, don't worry about cutting the roots, they'll grow. And since hasn't been starting up, it's been super late, this little one. I don't know why, but there's a lot of dead stuff off. So you can see by this height it was twice this tall, but you can still see some buds growing. So let's quit talking, Tom, and let's get this thing potted. Now we got a nice root base. But before we put it in, I want to shoot the Azus on it because that's going to help it to get the roots to grow on some of these stubborn plants. I don't know why she's stubborn this year, because she did produce fruit, and she produces nice flowers. There we go. Got that in. I thank my niece for getting the lipstick because I was running out. Well, we'll put it in. We'll rake the roots the best we can out, because she's nice and flat, and with that root maker's pot we don't have to do that much work, and there wasn't that so many damaging downward roots. So it's going to be an easy one to pot. We get our soil in there. Don't forget, look for garage sales for turntables. When people start having garage sales, look for the turntable. It's easier to help you to work with. Now this pomegranate I got small. This thing's about 3 or 4 years old. I got it that big. So you take good care of it, fertilize it, water it, keep it in full sun, and it'll grow for you. And even young it starts to flower. Take your chopstick, get that in. Get some more of our soil on there. There's little air pockets there, so all you do is keep working it in. Just work it in. And don't be afraid to work the soil into the roots, because you want to get every air pocket out of there that you can. I use my fingers too. Get it in. Now, even though it tolerates shade, you know, partial shade, I have to put it in there until at least for a good 3-4 days, so I can get these roots to grow. For some reason, she's just shy in growing this year. She had a spurt of growth in the winter time, and then she just died back. So I don't know if it's the cold weather. I got a long root over here just shooting straight out of the soil, so we got rid of that. There we go. And there's still some pockets because of these fine roots that this thing grew from this root maker pot. I'm really pleased with the roots that it grew. So it's good to invest. I mean, the root maker pots might be a little bit expensive, but hey, what the heck? You get a good plant out of the deal. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed and hope this one grows. I mean, she's a tough little lady. And I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for her. Okay, now let's get some water on it. We'll get most of the air pockets out with the water. See, with a spinning turntable, you can spin and pour your water. See how easy that goes? You don't have to worry about nothing. Just get it all in there. Okay. Nice and solid. See, with a round tub too, it's easy to pick your front, because you can turn it any which way you want to go to see what the front is. There we go. We got one root just sticking straight out that it doesn't want to go away, so we're going to just cut it. Let's get some more soil in there, because washing it with all that water getting the air pockets out really helps settle it in between the roots. Don't be afraid to water it. I always use a liquid fertilizer on there. And that seems to work the best to get it to grow. On this one, there we go. Nice, easy. Now before I transplanted it into this pot, I let it soak. I gave it a super good watering for 2 days in a row, and then I soaked it in a bucket of water for about an hour to help it get out of the stress mode. Okay, and hopefully she'll pull through. So here's the Revlon pink. Guys, if you use it, tell your wives what you're doing so you don't go home and get a frying pan across the head saying, "Where'd you get that pink lipstick on you?" But it's good. It seals. I like the lipstick because why pay all that money for that paste and stuff when lipstick works just as well? And it gives the tree color until it blooms. So I don't think I see any more cuts. There's one right there, there, there. Yeah, my niece knows where to get the lipstick cheap, so that's the best. And it's for free. It's, well, not free. I have to pay. I pay her for what it is. I think it was like $1 or $2. Okay, this is my little elephant for watering it. Want to water it in good. I like this watering can. I got it from the children's hour, but it's good because the hole is small. It holds almost, I think, a little over half a gallon of water. But at least you can water everything in real nice. See how easy it goes? And now we can always put a little top dressing on there to make it look good. I make my own top dressing. I use 1 part, what do I got in here? Yeah, 1 part sand, 1 part peat, and 1 part worm castings. So this is a nice little project for you to try. And pomegranate trees aren't that expensive. I got mine at Ted's greenhouse in Tinley Park, Illinois. Yeah, look how nice that is. Let's see if I can decorate it a little bit. We'll probably keep this as our trunk. Put a little rock in there. See if I got another one down here. Just something to hold it down. And I got a turtle here. We can put him walking around in there. Okay, then I got my little half-gallon spray bottle. Would help if I tightened it. And just watered in your top dressing real nice. Now we could decorate it more, but right now I just want to see if my little tree can grow. I mean, there we go. Get it to shoot out a little more. And you can see a little top dressing. It gives a little bit of class for your decorations. And with the turtle I got, makes it look pretty good. So let's keep our fingers crossed and let's see if it grows. So don't worry about it. Always try. It grows, it grows. If it don't, well, you gave it a shot. I'd hate to see it die because this thing is at least a good 4 years old. So maybe it'll perk through. Get all that soil out of the Y in the tree. And there we go. Okay. Keep our fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. And if you say you got arthritis, hey, I got arthritis in the foot today. I can barely stand, so you got to give it a try. You got to keep moving. So today is Thursday night. Get a hot cup of tea. And I like this Choosing and Growing Bonsai book. It's by Peter Chan. It's got some good stuff. It shows you all different pictures of different flowers and trees that you can grow. And different thoughts. Here's your birch tree. Japanese witch hazel. So I like to look through here and get some ideas on what to do next and how to get some plants grown for everybody. So grab yourself a cup of tea, get a good book, pick out your favorite chair, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the evening. And thank you for coming to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. My name's Tom Novick, and have a good evening.